Morning everyone. Emma Parish has brought out several little kits to help with storage on your desktop. So I want to show you all these little designs that she has, and they are absolutely wonderful. They really are. 2 are freebies in group and 2 are purchasable, but they are really good value kits. So the first one I'm going to start off with today is this one. Now this is a desk storage and it's so pretty. It really is, and it is really sturdy. If I grab a pair of scissors, knocking everything down, it holds scissors. Emma has had 2 pairs of scissors and something else in hers in one pocket. This is the point we're making, one pocket. Normally you would have to put something in this side to counterbalance it, rather here, counterbalance it, wouldn't you? These are really sturdy pieces of work. Now this is a freebie. Okay, so we're starting with a freebie today. So when you get your piece of paper, it will look like this. Sorry, I was bending the folds because it's quite dark here and my eyes are not the best at the best of times. These are the 2 pieces you will get, okay, on one strip of paper. Okay, you will cut these out and you need 6 of these. Okay, you do not have to back the insides, or if you want to back it, that's down to you, but you know, you really, if there's so far to go down, you're not going to actually see right down the bottom. Okay, so we'll put this bit away first. Obviously you just need to bend that one in half, and I'll show you how to sort that one out in a minute. So the first thing you do is you fold them in half like this. Okay, next thing you do is you fold it in half the other way. Now all of these things, Emma has a very in-depth way of putting these together. If I go too fast, which I tend to, you can go over and look at all her videos, which I'll link below. I'm doing the quick and easy version because I want to show you so much today. So, as I say, you fold that in. Sorry, I messed this bit out. You fold that in, you fold these in. It's entirely up to you which way you do it, whether you fold these bits in first or not, because we're making paper aeroplanes. You then fold it over. You are folding up to the mark. You are folding up to the mark, and this is what you end up with. Okay, really quick, easy, simple thing to do. Next thing you need is this. Now this is a bit bigger than this. Now she's made it this way because obviously the different size papers between England and America are, you know, that ½ an inch or so really does make a difference. Now this is to slot in here. Okay, so what you do is you get your pair of scissors and you trim it down to size to fit it. And also it depends on whether you've printed it fit to page or whether you've printed it you know, as is. You know, it just depends on how you print it. Right, so that slips in there perfectly. And then what you need to do is to make sure this here is level. You may have to trim some off, you may not, depends on whether you cut on the actual black line or just inside. If you're cutting just inside the black line, it'll fit. If not, again, just trim it up to fit. Now this is when the fun part starts. What you do is you tuck that one in there, and then you tuck that one in there, and you push, basically. Can you see? You just push these in like this. Now, sometimes they want a bit of encouragement, and sometimes they just work perfectly, and other days you might be sat here for ½ an hour. Oh, that one went okay today. And this is what you will land up with. You'll land up with a wee triangle. And you can already hear how sturdy that is. Now this is 160 GSM card. This isn't anything special. This is the next up from paper, isn't it? Sometimes they call it paper. When you ask for 160 GSM, you will often be shown paper. So then you get 6 of these and you glue them together to make this shape. Then you just glue them all together, and if you wanted to, you could extend it. You can do what you like with it, have fun. Now, to get the bottom bit, this bit here, you literally pop it on a piece of paper that you've got. Scrap is really good for this. Draw around your wee make, and make sure you pinpoint a place where you started. So what I did was I just marked a wee pencil mark on mine so I could rub it out so I wouldn't see it later on, and a wee mark on your template, because we know when we are putting these together, guarantee one would be slightly shorter or slightly longer than the other one. And then you've got this shape. Make sure you have a little bit of a tab around, which will help it to stick down. Very quick, very easy to do. If you want to see Emma actually doing it, if you go to the end of her video, you'll see how she does it. Okay, so that's the first make. Now that is a freebie group, and I think that is just absolutely lovely. Right, so the next one I want to show you is she's calling it the ephemera kit. Okay, now basically it is things to store ephemera. Now we have a little washi tape holder, which I think is so cute. Now this is made to fit the standard size washi tape. Okay, if you get yours from Amazon or any of those Chinese places and that, sometimes you'll land up with smaller ones like this, or like if you go into a shop like B&M, they do them at this size, the small size. Okay, these will still fit in here. I still have there's not much of a gap, but they fit in perfect. And mind you, some of these have been well used, but these are newer ones. And this is really easy to put together. So that's the washi tape holder one. Then you've got a wee box here that you will store ephemera in. Now this one I've done as lace at the moment. And if I just take these out, you'll see it's a lovely box. And you've got the lovely slant on either sides. Very quick to put them together. You get these wonderful lace holders or ribbon holders, whatever you want to call them. I usually call them bobbins, because that's what they usually are called, is bobbins that you put them your lace on. And if I just undo this, you'll see how quick and easy it is to load these up. I mean, it really is one of the easiest jobs you'll do. I mean, I've done loads recently, but on a different style. As you can see, this is the unique shape that our Emma's used. She put more of her butterflies on. Those are the PNG butterflies that she did about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Absolutely beautiful. Really quick and easy. You just literally wrap this around. Hold your first piece. If you think you're going to keep dropping it and you're not sure it's going to hold tight, you can always stick a bit of washi tape over it, or a bit of masking tape, or whatever you've got, just to hold the first bit on in place. And you literally just wrap it around like this. And then I like to use a pin. This is the traditional way of keeping them on these bobbins, is to use a pin. It will go through the cotton, and there you have it, ready to sit on your desk. Now the same box, you can use it for buttons, because Emma's given us button cards, and I think these are so fun. I really do. I love button cards, I really do. Now, hint, if you are going to be using these to craft with, don't sew them the way that they are traditionally sewn. Traditionally, what would happen is they would start here, and then they would go across like this, and just very loosely cut up, so that would go, and then they go in and out on that one, and then they go down here. Sometimes they go across. But if you cut that there, all the rest of the buttons, other than these two, fall off. It was great fun. Quick way of getting your buttons if you're making a cardie or something. I've sewn all mine on individually, because if I do decide to use them, I'm only going to want one if I'm putting it on ephemera, or 2 at the most. I'm not going to use maybe 6 or 9. It isn't what we do in junk journaling. But these are quick, easy to put together, a little bit of cotton and a needle, and you're away. If you are unsure about going through your card, now again, this is just the 160 card, get your little pokey tool, hold your button, and go through and poke the holes first. I did that because it was easier for me with my eyesight to see where I was going, and I can also feel it at the same time. So that is another way of doing it. But these can go in the same box. Well, another one of these boxes, and that would hold your buttons. So let's just move those out of the way. I've got a bigger washi tape here box that I made up so I can put my pens in, and this, I use this one all the time, so I wanted to keep that on my desk so I know where it is so it doesn't go walkabout. Now the other one you can do for the box is put this lovely ephemera in. These are just lovely envelopes. Now if you see them without the tickets on, they're like this obviously, and then you've got your flap at the back, and then you can put all your ephemera in these. So say you're doing a kit for, I don't know, we've got Creep on June coming, we've got all the different Christmas in July's coming, so you could maybe put all your fussy cuts in one and something else in another, you know, tags in another, labels in another, things like that, and you can use that through your making journey. And when you're finished, if you've got quite a lot left, you can write on the front what they are, where they're from, and these make great gifts when you are sending happy mail, or if you are doing a swap, to be able to send bits of ephemera. The times I've been sent little bits of ephemera and they have been absolutely perfect. They're already cut out, they're already just for you to use, or stickers, aren't they? Stickers are a brilliant use as well, and I'll be showing you mine in a bit. So these are lovely. So again, 3 uses for the one box. You can put all 3 in the same box. That is your choice. But I'll show you how to make that box in a minute. These boxes just go together so quickly. So let's start with the boxes. There are other things in this kit. This is a brought kit, by the way, and I will show you them as well in a minute. I'm just going to make a little bit of room and move a couple of things off the desk. Right, so I'm going to do the boxes first. These are the 2 boxes. Okay, so I've cut out on white. Now this one I printed the backing paper on. Okay, and I think it's a lovely pretty backing paper, but I'm going to show you with the white background because it's easier to see this on this as opposed to this on here. It's not quite so easy to see, so I'm going to use the white non-printed backs to put these together. So let's put the washi tape one together first. Okay, so when you've cut it all out, what you need to do is always put the way up that it is. This is the way up. You know that this is going to be the top. You cut down here, you cut down here, and then you come up from the bottom to here. So this here, you know, is your base. Okay, I've scored all these so it's easier than you sitting watching me score everything. This is your base. You know, that is the base of your box. So you're cutting down to the box on both sides. Okay, and you always do it on the longest side and the side that's at the top. Okay, so then you turn them over and we get the glue and pray that the glue is going to work today. Let's give him a bit of shake. I've had the heating on a wee bit this morning. Yeah, it's old age. So we're going to start with the side ones. Let's see if the glue's going to come out. Yes, it's coming out perfectly. It's absolutely, we've had torrential rain. This is like the 3rd day, and the poor birds, my days, I have never seen. So, oh, look there. First mistake, who was it I was talking to? Rhonda. There we are, Rhonda. That one's for you. About where you glue the wrong things or whatever. Yeah, the rain has been absolutely torrential. And the poor birds, now, obviously, they have like lanolin in their feathers that help to stop the water, doesn't it? It comes off the bird's feathers. Well, I have never seen birds like these. My goodness, these poor birds, they look like drowned rats. You know, the feathers are not like where they should be because they're so wet. And you know what a feather goes like when it gets wet. You know, they sort of all clump together, don't you? I noticed it most on the wood pigeons that come here. And they just, as I say, they look like drowned rats. The poor things, I mean, they've obviously had to come out to feed. I've got one that's due to lay eggs shortly, and oh, she was very, very dodgy. The starlings decided to come up here from down where the shop is, where they normally stay, because obviously nobody's out, nobody's dropping food, nobody's putting food out for the birds, and she won't go near the food while they're there. Whereas normally, her being bigger than the starlings, they all get on great, they all feed together, you know, if they come up. But oh no, she was so out of sorts. I mean, obviously you think about it, you know, you're bigger than you normally are, and you've got to balance yourself when you know, everything's so slippy. How I feed mine is I've got these like plant pots in the front, and the plant pots have the food in it, and the birds will sort of land on them and then feed from there, because they like to feed on the flat, you know, as opposed to things hanging up. And oh gosh, I felt so awful for her. So I've been watching out, and if she turns up, I'm checking if there's any food for her, because if there's not, I'll go out and put more out for her. Well, go to my window and open it and put food out. But it is so sad. That's how bad the weather has been. And I think people, because it's been, you know, that torrential. I mean, we were up the street, Levi and I had to go back on my optician's appointment for a second day. I'll explain all that later. And, oh goodness, it takes at the most 15 minutes on the bus when it goes on a little wee tour around Silverbutt Hall to get back to here from up the town on the bus, okay? And in that time, the paths were flooded. It was unbelievable. And it had only been going about 10 minutes or so before we actually left to come back home. Absolutely crazy. I hope you're following what I'm doing here. It's quite logical and quite simple. I use a bone folder to get in here because I find the, you know, when you get right in that corner, it's like if you sew and you do, say, so you're going to do a doll's leg or something like that. You need a needle to just push that little bit of fabric right into the corners to make it neat. And I find using a bone folder really, really great. I sometimes use my scissors. If my scissors are on the table, I'll use that. I'm hoping you can actually see what I'm actually doing here. I will often use a pair of scissors if it's on the table, because obviously they've got a lovely flat edge that you can just push it down. And then you've just got these two little bits left. It's how quick and easy they are to put these boxes together. It's just so fun. And then you decide what you're going to put in them. Now, that's that one. Let's push that down. And push this one down. On there. It's very quiet today. I think Jodie must be out downstairs because it is so quiet. I mean, the 7 o'clock start with the diggers over at the building site was the normal, but even they've gone quiet. They must all be working on inside the new houses that they're building. And there's your box. Quick, simple, easy. Now, other things you can put in your washi tape box. I've got these ribbons that I've had for years. I've got greens and other colours as well. They fit in there really, really well. There are so many other little things that you can put in these boxes. It's great because you could have these, if you've got a shelf with stuff on, you could have these at the front. So the things that you use all the time will be easily accessible. Now, the one idea I had was to make one of these for these. How many times have you just put it down, not put it on something where it will stay and it makes a mark? You know, it'll suddenly roll round and it'll catch something. If you made one of these and you stored these in them, you know, when you're actually craft, just pop it in there. You don't have to think about what's on it, because if it makes a mess of the inside, it doesn't matter because you can just make another one. And I thought, that is such a great idea. I am so going to utilise that. Because you don't think to put it in its safe place, do you, to be where you need it. And you won't lose it either. And yeah, you get all the little labels for, you know, like if you're going to put ribbon in your box, lace in your box, buttons in your boxes. There's your washi tape one, you know. So you get all the labels, which is great. But you can make your own. It's quite easy to make your own. Or you can just write. Because I was thinking, if you know, you can quite easily just write on here what's in here. Or one thing I do, when I made all of Tracy's little matchboxes, I put one of the bits of ephemera on the top so I could see the picture, and then on the side of the matchbox I wrote what it was and what it was from. And that was when she was doing all her mini stuff. You know, she did lots and lots of mini ephemera, and I use it all the time, and it is great when you've got things labelled. They're great. So there, those two there. Let's have a look. Just moving the ephemera out of the way. This box goes together exactly the same. Let's show you what it looks like. So these are your sides, these are your tops, and here is your bottom. Right, now this is slightly smaller than the other one because I've made them in two sizes, so you could see the difference in size of both of these. Okay, so same thing. That's all you do. It's exactly what I did before. So this is going to go in here. Quick, mate. I should have got my, you know, double-sided tape rollers. I've got one of them out. So we're going to get that in there. Get it on the corner. On there. Get it in the corner. Turn it round, do exactly the same. I love paper crafts, particularly when you can make something that looks pretty and will help, particularly when we do so much crafting these days, and you want things that you can use in the way that you want to use it, but also it's not going to cost an arm and a leg. Because I mean, you think about it, buying plastic boxes these days, you know, storage boxes, the cost is unbelievable. Particularly they've got a lid on them. They just seem to go up and up in price. And then you just put all these little bits down. I'm speed gluing. Let's start here on the sides. So that one goes down there. Yeah, I mean, the fact that you know, if these get messed up, you can just replace them with not too much difficulty. I think it's just such a great idea. So obviously, when you are printing the box off, remember the size that you are doing. Remember the size of the box that you are printing off, whether you've got that tick on or whether you haven't got that tick on. So whether it is full page, fit to page, or whether it's without the tick on and at the normal print size. Oh, I'm not sure why that's not going down. That seems to be. What's that? Oops, that's it, it's going down now. You did not want to go down today, did you? I must have bent it, you know, I must have scored it at some stage on the wrong line, and then when you come along later, you meant it. So, there, 2 seconds, one done, and you've got 2 pieces done. Okay, now the next bit of all this, no, that's it for this kit, isn't it? Yeah, that's all, that's the 2. So 1 you buy, 1 is a freebie. So, now we're going to the next one. You're going to like this. These, I use these all the time. Right, so in this one, I've got my sweet violet seeds that came yesterday, and then I've got my ephemera in here from the current challenge that is in the Magical Paper Pantry, and it's to make a beautiful journal topper, and the video will be up by the time you see this one, and it's lovely. Zern designed it. I've got it just here. Is that on there? If I stretch, I should be able to get it. Yeah, there it is. This is the journal topper, and this is the challenge for this month. You buy the kit, you make something with it, and you put the photo either in the event or on the wall, and you will be a chance to win one of Emma's kits. Okay, so that's that in there. I've got For My Faith. Whoa. Now this one's really full because this is where I've been doing my piece of God. I've got all sorts in here that I've cut out. They're in little bags, and you can see I've absolutely stuffed this, and it's really sturdy. So this is another freebie, and they come in 3 different colours. So you've got the yellow, the pink, and the greeny colour one. Okay, so let's show you how first to put these up. That'd be the best thing to do. Right, to put these up, you pull this open like this, and you just literally push like that. Origami boxes, and you have your box, and it's great fun. If you are planning on not putting this back down again, these wee flaps you can actually glue down. I've got 3 on the go at the moment on my desk, so I don't put them all down because I use them at different times. So let's show you how to make the box. Let's get you open. Oops, that's it. It's a lot easier with all the lines because you can see what you did before. Right, so let's do it this way. So the first thing you do is you fold it in half, undo it, fold it in half again. Okay, remember, get your creases in. With origami, you need to get those creases in. Okay, you can use a pair of scissors. You do not have to use a bone folder. Okay, so here, make sure the flap is this here and the straight bit is there. Okay, and then you will fold the bit that's to that line in the middle and to that line in the middle there. Okay, this you need to make sure you really do get those creases in, because what you then do is you open it up and you push this bit in, and it will go in like that, and you do the same on the other side. Okay, that is what you need. The next thing you do is you fold all these into the middle. Okay, that one. Okay, that's what you do. Then you go up and you go up, and you get to see your flowers at last. And this little bit here just bends down like that, and that's how you store your boxes. Quick, easy. But there's a freebie in group. I think, if I remember correctly, there's a freebie in group for make one of these, and the other 2 might be in Emma's shop. But it's been a while since I saw them in there. I think it was 2 or 3 months ago that Emma actually brought those out. So there we go. That's 3 already that I've shown you. Now the next lot is absolutely stunning. Really beautiful. But it's more difficult to put them together. Not difficult to put together. There's just a lot more involved because there's so many pieces. So there we go. This is part of a box that will hold ephemera and things like this. So I will do this one as a separate, because as you can see, I have a whole box of the bits ready to make up. You have a box, you have a little tray where you put these little boxes in, you've got expandable file folders. It is just an incredible kit. But what I will do is I will do a separate video, because I've already shown you 3 today, and I don't want you having to go scrolling through on the video to try and find out where you are and how to do it is. But I will link all of Emma's videos, because Emma does it very slowly and very precise. Okay, So depending on what sort of crafter you are, whether you're one of these that rushes ahead, glues it all together, and then realises you've not glued it together right, and you really should have read those instructions. Yeah, Esther. This is where we're going to go. Now, just a little sneak peek. Emma has started doing these. There are actually 3 altogether, and they've only just come out, and they are pop-up cards. I just think they are just absolutely adorable, and I just love them. So I will be doing a video on these too this weekend, and they are gorgeous. But I'll put the links down, because I say they've only just come into the shop, okay? And they are just absolutely adorable. For me, something like this, particularly, I think, you know, the older generation, as unfortunately most of us are nowadays, appreciate things like this. We remember things like this. I used to love those cards that had the little scented sachet thing inside the card, so it smelled absolutely beautiful. It would always have a beautiful smell of something like lilacs or something, but also with that hint of talcum powder smell about them. They were just amazing. I used to love seeing them. I love pop-up books and pop-up cards, so we persuaded Emma to do us some more pop-up cards, and it fits beautifully in here. So the person who receives it can't actually see the front. Where are we? So when you get it, it's all sort of nicely put together like this, held together. This will go in what we call a C5 envelope over here in the UK if you are going to post it, and it's not that fat. So I don't know whether it'll go through. I'll have to find my letterbox thing where you measure the size of your envelope before you post it, and I will have a look and see whether you can get this through the post as normal postage, or whether it'll have to go as a larger envelope. But that's the first, and there are 3, so I will show you them later. So thank you so much for being here on this really gorgeous, wet, damp, soggy day, and the poor birds have just had to be fed again because they're feeding like no tomorrow. We've gained all the pigeons from up the high street, and it's definitely getting fun around here. The starlings were fighting with the pigeons, and the jackdaws just fly in and they all disappear. I love watching the birds. So have a wonderful Friday, everybody, and I'll see you all soon with the next little kit that Emma's made, because they're amazing. And there is one absolutely gorgeous kit. If you can actually go over to her shop and look up the book boxes. Yes, I do have the kit. No, I haven't printed it off yet. But my days, you will just go, oh my, I need to have that. Because I did. Love and blessings, everybody. Speak to you soon. Bye.